Hello, my friend. Take a deep breath, relax, and get comfortable. Today, we are going to discover the story of a man who became one of the most famous athletes in the world. A man who was fast. A man who was strong. A man who was confident. A man who was not afraid to speak his mind. His name was Muhammad Ali. Before the world knew him as a champion, he was just a young boy from Louisville, Kentucky. He was born on January 17, 1942. But at that time, the world did not know that this little boy would one day become a legend. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. His family was not rich. His father, Cassius Clay Sr., was a sign painter. His mother, Odessa Clay, worked as a domestic worker and also took care of the family. Cassius grew up with his younger brother, Rudy. They lived in Louisville, a city in the southern United States. Life was not always easy. America was deeply affected by racial discrimination. Black people faced unfair treatment in many parts of society. Cassius was growing up in a world where people were often judged because of the color of their skin. As a young boy, he saw this unfairness around him. But there was something else that would change his life. Something that happened when he was only 12 years old. One day, Cassius went to a local event. He had a bicycle that he loved. It was a new bicycle and he was very proud of it. But when he came back, the bicycle was gone. Someone had stolen it. Cassius was furious. He found a police officer named Joe Martin. Cassius told him that someone had stolen his bicycle. He was angry and wanted to find the person responsible. According to the famous story, Cassius told the officer that he wanted to fight the thief. Joe Martin was also a boxing trainer. He looked at the young boy and saw something interesting. Cassius was angry. He was full of energy. But he did not know how to box. Joe Martin told him that before he could fight someone, he needed to learn how to fight properly. So Cassius began training. He learned how to move. He learned how to punch. He learned how to protect himself. And most importantly, he learned discipline. At first, boxing was not easy. Cassius had to practice again and again. He had to train when he was tired. He had to listen to his coach. He had to learn from his mistakes. But Cassius loved boxing. He quickly discovered that he had something special. He was extremely fast. He had excellent movement. He could move around the ring quickly. And he had incredible confidence. Cassius did not simply want to become a good boxer. He wanted to become the best. He began competing in amateur boxing. He trained hard. He won fights. He became more confident with every victory. But he also learned an important lesson. Talent was not enough. You needed discipline. You needed practice. And you needed the courage to continue when things became difficult. Cassius continued training for years. Then came a major moment in his young life. In 1960, Cassius Clay competed in the Olympic Games in Rome. He was only 18 years old. Imagine that. An 18-year-old young man from Louisville was now competing on one of the biggest sporting stages in the world. Cassius entered the light heavyweight boxing competition. He won his fights, and eventually he reached the final. There, he defeated Zbigniew Peterzakowski of Poland. Cassius Clay became an Olympic gold medalist. He returned home as a champion. He had achieved something incredible. But his Olympic victory did not mean that all his problems were over. When he returned to Louisville, he still experienced racial discrimination. The world could see him as an Olympic champion. But some people still treated him unfairly because he was black. This deeply affected him. He understood that winning a gold medal could make him famous, but it could not automatically change society. Cassius was becoming more outspoken. He was beginning to understand that his voice could be powerful. Soon, he made another important decision. He wanted to become a professional boxer. In 1960, he began his professional career. He won his early fights, and he did not fight like an ordinary boxer. He was fast. He was unpredictable. He moved constantly. He talked to his opponents. He made jokes. He predicted when he would win. Some people thought he was too confident. Others thought he was arrogant. But Cassius did not care. He believed in himself. He believed that he could become world champion, and he was willing to work for it. As his victories continued, more people began paying attention to him. He was becoming a star. But Cassius wanted more than fame. He wanted to prove that his confidence was real. He wanted to become the heavyweight champion of the world. In 1964, he finally received his opportunity. His opponent was Sonny Liston. Liston was a powerful and experienced heavyweight champion. Many people believed that Cassius Clay was too young. They thought Liston was too strong. They expected Cassius to lose. But Cassius did not think that way. Before the fight, he spoke confidently about winning. He said that he was going to shock the world. Then the fight began. Liston was powerful, but Cassius was fast. He moved around the ring. He avoided Liston's punches. He used his speed and his movement. And as the fight continued, something surprising happened. Cassius was winning. The young challenger was defeating the champion. Eventually, Liston could not continue. Cassius Clay had won. At only 22 years old, he became the heavyweight champion of the world. The young boy who had once lost his bicycle, the young boy who had walked into a boxing gym, the young boxer who many people doubted, was now the champion of the world. It was one of the greatest moments of his life. But something even bigger was about to happen. Shortly after winning the championship, Cassius Clay announced that he had become a member of the Nation of Islam. He began speaking openly about his faith and his identity. In 1964, he announced that he would no longer use the name Cassius Clay. He said he wanted to be called Muhammad Ali. The name Muhammad Ali would soon become famous around the entire world. But his story was about to become much more complicated. He was no longer only a young boxing champion. He was becoming a public figure, a person with strong opinions, a person who was willing to challenge society, and a person who would soon face one of the most difficult decisions of his life. The world knew Muhammad Ali as a champion, but the next chapter would show the world something else. It would show his courage. It would show his beliefs, and it would test how much he was willing to sacrifice for what he believed was right. So, my friend, the story is not over. The young champion had reached the top of the boxing world. But sometimes, reaching the top is not the hardest part. Sometimes, the hardest part is deciding what you are willing to lose in order to remain true to yourself. And Muhammad Ali was about to find out exactly what that meant. In 1966, Ali was called to join the United States military. At that time, the United States was fighting in the Vietnam War. Ali did not want to go to war. He explained that his religious beliefs did not allow him to fight in the war. He also spoke openly about his opposition to the conflict. His decision created a huge controversy. Many people criticized him. Some people called him a coward. Others believed that he was brave for standing up for his beliefs. But Ali did not change his mind. In 1967, he refused to be inducted into the military. Because of his decision, he was convicted and sentenced to prison. However, he did not actually go to prison while his case was being appealed. But the consequences were still serious. Ali lost his boxing license. He was stripped of his heavyweight title. And for almost 4 years, he could not compete professionally. Think about that, my friend. Muhammad Ali was one of the best boxers in the world. He was young. He was at the top of his career. But suddenly, he could not enter the boxing ring. He lost some of the most important years of his athletic career. During this difficult period, Ali did not simply sit and wait. He traveled around the country. He gave speeches. He spoke at universities. He talked about his beliefs, his religion, and his opposition to the war. He became famous outside the boxing ring as well. Some people hated him. Some people admired him. But almost everyone knew his name. Ali had become more than a boxer. He had become a public figure. Finally, after years away from professional boxing, Ali was able to return to the ring. But returning was not easy. The sport had changed. New champions had appeared. And Ali had lost valuable years of his career. In 1971, he faced Joe Frazier. Frazier was a powerful and talented heavyweight champion. The fight was one of the biggest sporting events in the world. Ali fought hard, but this time he lost. It was the first professional loss of his career. For the first time, Ali knew what it felt like to lose a major fight. But he did not allow the loss to destroy him. He continued training. He continued fighting. And he continued believing that he could become champion again. Then came one of the most famous fights of his entire career. In 1974, Ali faced George Foreman. Foreman was younger. He was extremely strong. He had defeated many of the best boxers in the world. Many people believed that Ali would lose, but Ali had a plan. The fight took place in Kinshasa, Zaire. Millions of people around the world watched. Ali used a strategy that later became known as the rope-a-dope. He moved back to the ropes and allowed Foreman to attack. Foreman punched again and again, but Ali protected himself and waited. He knew that Foreman was using a lot of energy. Round after round, Ali remained calm. Then, when the right moment came, Ali attacked. In the 8th round, Ali knocked Foreman out. The crowd exploded with excitement. Muhammad Ali was the heavyweight champion of the world again. It was one of the greatest comebacks in sports history. The man who had lost his title, the man who had spent years away from boxing, the man who had lost an important fight, had returned to the top. Ali continued fighting for several more years. In 1975, he fought Joe Frazier again in a legendary fight known as the Thrilla in Manila. It was an extremely difficult battle. Both fighters were exhausted. Ali later described it as one of the hardest fights of his life. But he won when Frazier's corner stopped the fight before the final round. Ali continued to compete until the early 1980s. He finally retired from professional boxing in 1981. His final record was 56 wins and 5 losses, including 37 victories by knockout. But Ali's greatest achievement was not only his boxing record. He had become a symbol of confidence, courage, and determination. He showed millions of people that you could stand up for your beliefs, even when other people disagreed with you. He also showed that losing does not mean the end of your story. Sometimes losing is simply another part of the journey. Later in his life, Ali faced another difficult challenge. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. His body became slower. Speaking became more difficult. The man who had once moved around the boxing ring with incredible speed could no longer move in the same way. But Ali continued to appear in public. He continued helping people. He continued inspiring others. In 1996, he had the honor of lighting the Olympic flame at the Atlanta Olympic Games. It was a powerful moment. The world watched as the legendary boxer, now living with Parkinson's disease, stood in front of millions of people. He was no longer the young fighter who moved quickly around the ring, but he was still Muhammad Ali, still a champion, still an inspiration. Muhammad Ali died in 2016 at the age of 74. People around the world remembered him. They remembered his victories. They remembered his confidence. They remembered his famous words. But most importantly, they remembered the person behind the champion. A man who faced difficult decisions. A man who lost important years of his career. A man who lost fights. A man who faced illness. And a man who continued to believe that his life could make a difference. That is why Muhammad Ali's story is much bigger than boxing. His story teaches us that being a champion is not only about winning. Sometimes, being a champion means standing up when you are afraid. Sometimes it means continuing when life becomes difficult. And sometimes it simply means believing in yourself when nobody else does. Ali once said, "It's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am." He was famous for his confidence and his sense of humor. But behind that confidence was years of hard work. He trained when he was tired. He practiced when nobody was watching. He lost and came back. He faced criticism and continued moving forward. And that is the lesson we can take from his life. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to win every time. And you do not need everyone to believe in you. You only need the courage to keep going. Maybe you are learning English right now and sometimes you feel that it is too difficult. Maybe you make mistakes. Maybe you forget new words. Maybe you feel that you are not improving fast enough. But remember Muhammad Ali. He did not become a champion in one day. He trained. He practiced. He failed. He learned. And he kept going. You can do the same. Take one small step every day. Learn one new word. Listen to one English story. Repeat one sentence. And keep moving forward. One day you may look back and realize how far you have come. Muhammad Ali started as a young boy in Louisville with a stolen bicycle. He walked into a boxing gym because he wanted to learn how to fight. He could not have known where that first step would take him. But that small beginning became the beginning of an extraordinary life. So, my friend, never underestimate a small beginning. Never be afraid of a difficult journey. And never stop believing in yourself. Because sometimes the person who believes in you first has to be you. Thank you for listening to the story of Muhammad Ali. I hope you enjoyed this simple English story and learned something new today. If you enjoyed this story, stay with Storylight for more simple English stories that help you improve your listening, vocabulary, and English comprehension. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. See you in the next story, my friend. Goodbye.